Hello, welcome back to Brom Fan TV. Now, Championship, again, another game, midweek action this time. So, let's get into it. Blackburn Coventry first game on the Tuesday. Blackburn are 5th place. Surprisingly, lost to Oxford last weekend. Poor result, really, for them. Coventry, coming off the back of a win against Bristol City 1-0. Asante, who was rumoured to be going to Blackburn with a goal in that game as well. He can score, and I love him, but he's an interesting player. I can see why Cov did have their question marks about him, but goal, and now he's back in their good books. Just shows the fickle sport that it is. Saying that, this will be an interesting game. I remember the game that comes to mind to me whenever I think of Blackburn Coventry is the one where Ben Wilson scored the equaliser in injury time, the goalkeeper for Coventry. And I think this one will end in a similar scoreline. I would say 1-1 draw. Next up is Derby County taking on Sunderland. Now, Derby are teams that rely on home results, really, so this will work well in their favour. Saying that, they did lose to Watford last weekend, a team that barely do win away. Saying that, Watford are no pushovers in this league. Talking of a team that aren't a pushover, Sunderland, they had a crippling night on Sky Sports on that Friday night game against Burnley, missing 2 penalties. Both penalties weren't penalties. James Trafford did well to save both of them. Poor Isidore had his head in his hand. He looked like he was close to tears. So this is going to be a big game for Sunderland. Confidence-wise, they want to get back. They want to get the train moving, I guess, again. Is a good analogy to say for it. But I don't think that's going to happen here. I think Derby are going to win 2-1. Next up is Hull taking on QPR. Hull, who were dead and buried from the looks of it, picked up a big 3 points away at Millwall, which is, as I say, always a tough place to go. Taking on a QPR side that are dark horses for a playoff spot now, considering they were in a relegation battle not too long ago. They've been playing really, really well. Some exciting stuff for fans of the R's. And yeah, I can see the points being shared there. Two teams, similar kind of vein of form, both on the rise, I guess. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Up next is the massive game, really, in terms of this championship season, as it's 6th versus 7th at this moment in time. Middlesbrough taking on West Bromwich Albion. Now, I've been impressed with Middlesbrough all season, but they have a tendency to take the foot off the gas in games that they should be winning. As you saw last weekend with their game against Portsmouth, which they lost. Devastating that game as well. A fan sadly lost his life at that match. Just gutting to see, to be honest. So my thoughts go out to that guy's family. Just tragic, really. I mean, we saw a similar thing happen. Obviously, there are a lot of other reasons of why that ended the way it is, but we had a similar thing happen this season with a fan passing away in the stands. So yeah, it's just devastating. In terms of West Brom going into this fixture, it's Tony Mowbray's first game, which is massive. Obviously, it's even more interesting because of his connection to the Teesside outfit. He is a Middlesbrough fan. He's born near Middlesbrough. And they are his team, really. And what a way to, get your kickstart back into management with a trip to your boyhood club in Middlesbrough. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Hopefully we turn up because, yeah, Stoke wasn't the best. We did dominate them personally. We did deserve to win, but we just couldn't hit a barn door, to be fair. Really, really missed Madger in that game. But, I'm not too worried. We are sat in 6th somehow, so we must be doing something right. And we don't really lose often. We've only lost 4 games all season. Will this be our 5th loss, though? No, it won't. I'm going for Middlesbrough 3, West Bromwich Albion 3, a goal fest. Up next, Oxford taking on Luton. Oxford picking up some great form lately. Winning some horrible games, like playing Blackburn at home. Blackburn are a team that are flying. They've shut them down. They shut the back door and, they've secured a valuable 3 points. Luton are a team that can't win for toffee. They drew against Preston North End. They're looking very poor. It seems that those hoofball, horrible, Sean Dyche-esque, Tony Pulis-esque Brexit ball tactics are not working for them. and they're pretty poor on the road as well. So this is not one that's going to work in their favour. Saying that, this is a game that they need to win, really, if they want to stay in this league. They're 23rd. Last season they were in the Premier League, and now they're 23rd in the Championship, you know. Back to life, back to reality. And I'm going for an Oxford 1, Luton Town 0 result in this game. I think that they're going to continue to struggle. Now, up next is Swansea City taking on Sheffield United. To be fair, I can't remember what the Swansea score was. I do remember the Swansea score, and I probably should, because it's the biggest game, arguably, of the weekend, a massive derby, as they took on Cardiff and got battered 3-0. I mean, I did say in my preview video for last weekend's fixtures that I thought Swansea were poor, and I thought that Cardiff would win. And yeah, that happened. I want to look back over my notes and see what I actually put down for that game. I said 3-2 Cardiff. It was, I think, 3-0 in the end. So I definitely got the amount of goals right. Callum Robinson played his socks off, and Swansea played themselves into trouble. And this is not the game you want after a performance like that, taking on high-flying Sheffield United. Who were right up there in the automatic places. They would be top, I'm pretty sure, if it weren't for a silly points deduction at the start of the season. Yeah, a team that aren't necessarily the most amazing. They've got some talented players. Well, I would say the most amazing on the eye, should I say. But they've got some top quality names, and they're class at the back. And yeah, Swansea 0, Sheffield United 2. Next up is Watford taking on Preston North End. Now, Watford are brilliant at home. Don't lose many games. They've only lost once in... I think Tom Cleverley took charge, and that was against Sheffield United, who are up there. Watford picked up a massive 3 points away at Derby, you know, putting the away hoodoo, I guess, to bed a bit with them. They're finally picking up some points on the road. Fair play to them. Preston North End, on the other hand, 0-0 draw against Luton. They are looking destined for mid-table, as they do season on season. A lot of draws for the Lily Whites this season, similar to Albion, but we had a nice run at the start of the season that shot us right up into the playoffs. That's the difference. What I think is going to happen here, I'm going Watford 3, Preston North End 1. Up next is the 8 o'clock game, the one that Sky have chose, which I think, on the eye, is one of the most boring games in football terms to watch, because it's going to be a backs-to-the-wall defensive one. It's Millwall taking on Cardiff. Millwall losing 1-0 to Hull last weekend. Didn't expect that, really. And I'm sure the Millwall fans didn't expect that either. A bit of a sucker punch for them. Cardiff, obviously a massive 3-0 win against Swansea. But derby days are a lot different to a normal match day, I guess. There's a lot more resting on that Swansea game. And it's a long trip, especially for midweek. Fair play to the Cardiff fans that are going to make that journey to Millwall. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. Boring. Up next is Leeds taking on Norwich. Now, Leeds were fantastic yet again at the weekend. Another smashing win. Norwich are just... I say they're underwhelming, but they are not too far away from the playoffs. I just think there's the standard around between 5th down to, say, 14th is pretty similar this season. Yeah, it's pretty dismal, to be fair. But, you know, I guess it shows that anyone can beat anyone. There's a bit of drama in it. Saying that, I think Leeds are going to blow Norwich away. I think Norwich will get some goals, though. I'm going to go 4-2 to Leeds. Up next is Portsmouth taking on Stoke. Now, Portsmouth picked up a massive 3 points against Middlesbrough on Saturday, making all us Baggies fans very happy to see us back in the playoffs somehow after playing some of the most bang average football going. And the team they're taking on, Stoke, I can comment on. They, away from home, are very backs to the wall, I guess. They like to sit back, nick an early goal and just, you know, hold on to it, I guess. Nathan Lowe, they've recalled him recently from Walsall. He looks like a decent striker. I think he's still got a lot to learn, but boy, he's got potential. And yeah, I think with that recalling, and I guess Mark Robins now in charge, there's a slight feel-good factor at the club. Comment in the description, comment in the comment section below if you disagree. But I think there's a bit of a feel-good factor at Stoke at the minute, and I think that they'll win here. I don't know why, but I wrote it down. So Portsmouth 1, Stoke City 2. Up next, Sheff Wednesday taking on Bristol. Two teams around the same section of the table, 8th, 9th-ish. I'm pretty sure both of them teams are. So it should be a competitive game. Sheffield Wednesday have been really impressive, to be fair. They have picked up lately, to be honest, with like Josh Windass scoring screamers and stuff. And now they're around the playoffs, I guess, sniffing around there. Same with Bristol City. They're pretty decent at home. I saw them at the Hawthorns. I thought they were abysmal. But, you know, they get the job done at Ashton Gate. And I guess it gets you a lot of points, don't it, really, in a championship season? Especially when a lot of the teams around that playoffs and middle mark are quite poor themselves. Saying that, I think this will be a tasty, interesting game. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Up next is the final game, the 8 o'clock kickoff. Very weird 8 o'clock kickoff to choose. It's Plymouth taking on Burnley. It's rock bottom Plymouth taking on high flying third place Burnley. Yeah, Plymouth have been, whenever you think that they're going to, you know, kickstart, get a bit of a run going after getting a point where they've secured it in the last minute, and you think that heads will be held high. They seem to crumble. Lost 1-0 to QPR. Very disappointing, really, for them, because they are more favourable at home. But yeah, saying that, they will be blessed with another home game. At least it's not away, considering Plymouth have, I think, only won... No, they haven't won away all season, I'm pretty sure. Only 2 points, I think they've got, which is nuts, to be fair. But yeah, the team are taking on Burnley, really impressive. Similar to Sheffield United in ways, very depressing. No, very defensive, should I say, which is depressing to watch, especially when it's on Sky. But yeah, defensively sound. They break on the counter attack. They're very. I think the way I describe them is they're very. What's the word? They're very calm and on the ball and patient. They like a lot of interplay around the box. They don't rush stuff. They kind of just wait for teams to make their mistakes, and that's why they are where they are. Because they've got some great young players, and they're got a solid manager in Scott Parker who knows the league. What do I think is the score going to be in this one? I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. So yeah, that is that. Another round of predictions. You have more to come on Thursday as the games are coming thick and fast around this cold winter period. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Up the Albion, come on you baggies. And hopefully 3 points at Teesside, otherwise known as the Riverside Stadium in Middlesbrough. Come on.